meteorologist Jeff Lyon with Doppler, NexRad, Storm Tracker, and Alert Watch for weather you can count on. It's WFIE TV 14, the Tri-State's news leader.
The story of cranberries today on Newswatch at 5.
Touchdown 94 is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Oldsmobile retailers.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Blake, and welcome to this special Thanksgiving edition of Touchdown 94, The Road to Indy. Tomorrow at this time, the modern-day Wildcats will play Bremen for the Class 2A state championship. 48 hours from now, Castle tees it up against Portage for all the marbles in Class 5A. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to take a look at both modern-day and Castle's road to Indy. Both teams won semi-states in exciting fashion, making their two-point conversions. Dean Webster joins me now with a look at Modern Day's victory over Indianapolis Cecina. Dean?
It was a good one. Covering high school football like we do, Mike, on Touchdown 94, gives us a chance to see a lot of teams. The Crusaders of Indianapolis Cecina certainly was one of the best teams that I had seen all season. And when they stepped on the field against Modern Day, they were undefeated and ranked #1.
Modern Day was finally getting to play a game at the Wrights Bowl. 3 games had been on the road. Their only home contest of the tourney had been moved to Enloe Field. The Cats came up with some great plays in this game and some big defensive hits. Modern Day also knocked out Cecina's main weapon, running back Donald Winston. He left with a broken ankle. Modern Day scored first on this Chris Kester pass to Jason Foles, but then missed the extra point. The Cats fans wanted more and got it. Watch this catch and run by Jim Schrader, running over defenders on his way to setting up a short touchdown run by Jeff McDermott. And if anyone knew the Modern Day Wildcats, they knew what was coming. They went for 2 instead of kicking the extra point. Jeff McDermott fought his way into the end zone, and little did he know at the time that would be the difference in the ball game, and Modern Day was headed to the state final game for the first time in school's history.
And again, tomorrow in the Dome, 3 o'clock Evansville time for the Cats and Bremen.
Should be a great one. Now, Castle High School has not been to the Indiana State Football Championship game since they won it all back in 1982. This year, many thought the Knights had the talent to go back to the state finals, but it wouldn't be easy. Well, after losing 2 of their first 3 games, then almost losing one of their best players last week to mononucleosis, the Knights pulled off one of the biggest comebacks in local sports history. Our Ryan Lemon joins me now with a look at Castle's incredible come-from-behind semi-state win over Carmel last week. Wow.
Mike, that's right. Without a doubt, it was one of the best high school football games that I have ever seen. As a matter of fact, Castle coach John Leidy even told me after the game it was one of the guttiest performances he had witnessed in his 23 years as the Knights head coach. Castle hosting Carmel for the Class 5A semi-state championship and a trip to the state finals. Castle had to come from behind to tie the game at 7 on a Tony Salpetra touchdown. The Knights then had to come from behind again to make it a 14-13 game on the Vince Leidy pass to Johnny Clark. But the game was decided in the final minute and a half of play. First, Carmel scored to take a 20-13 lead, but that was by design.
Well, we let them score. We told them to let them score.
You let them score?
Let them score, not to tackle them. That was, but they scored some.
Leidy wanted the ball back with enough time on the clock to score. Castle then put together an impressive drive, going 89 yards in 89 seconds, capped off by Vince Leidy's touchdown run with 43 seconds left to pull the Knights to within a point, 20-19.
I'm as high as a car right now. It's unbelievable. My adrenaline's kicking. I mean, I'm ready to play another game. I mean, it's unbelievable. I got so much energy now.
Then came the big decision. Instead of going for the extra point and the tie, Coach Leidy decides to go for the win and the 2-point conversion. It worked. Vince Leidy's pass to Jeremy Johnson was complete, giving the Knights a 21-20 win and a trip to the state finals. Was there ever a doubt that you were going to catch the ball?
Not by me. Maybe by the sidelines or the audience out there, because it bobbled around. I knew I was going to catch it. Yeah, I knew.
Okay, we're knowing a lot about the Knights. What do we know about the Knights' opponent? What do we know about Portage?
Well, Mike, we do know they are the second biggest school in the state. The football team is ranked 3rd. They come in undefeated and have a stingy defense, giving up just 24 points in 5 playoff games. Portage High School is located in northeastern Indiana on Lake Michigan in Porter County. Portage is second only to Indianapolis North Central in total student enrollment. Under first-year head coach Craig Buzia, the Indians finished the season undefeated and ranked 3rd in the state in Class 5A. Leading the team is senior receiver and defensive back David Ortiz. He's the leading receiver in the state with over 1,100 yards. Junior quarterback Nick Wellman is 5th in the state with passing, throwing for 28 touchdowns. And by the way, Portage has won a state title. In 1977, the Indians beat Wrights. That was also the last time an Evansville school advanced to the title game.
Now we turn our attention to Mater Dei's opponent. Dean Webster joins us again. What can you tell us about Bremen?
Well, Bremen, Mike, is located about 20 miles south of South Bend, ranked 5th in the state, and they enter this game with the same record as the Cats, 11-2.
Bremen prepares this week to make their 3rd trip to the Dome. The Lions' philosophy this time around is to keep the ball out of Mater Dei's hands as much as possible.
I think the biggest key for us is ball control. We got to try that there. You know, they strike quick on offense, and they do a lot of things on offense, and the more we keep the ball out of their hands, the better off we're going to be. We just got to try to play first down, keep the ball out of their hands, and last couple of weeks we haven't really executed very well on offense, and we got to improve that this week if we want to come out on top on Friday.
Against Bremen, Mater Dei will throw, and throw some more. But Bremen boasts a good pass defense.
Well, knock on wood, but yeah, our DBs, and it stems from our whole defense, because our defensive line's been putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback and keeping him on the move, and it's been a total team effort for us, and our DBs just happen to be in the right place at the right time.
Mater Dei and Castle, both with 11 wins and 2 losses on the season. When we return, we're going to take a look back at the highlights of the Knights and the Cats.
Okay.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy a new car, wait no longer. The time is right now at your local Oldsmobile retailers. It's a November to remember. The best time to get the new Oldsmobile you've been waiting for. During November, we'll have instant on-the-spot financing, an enhanced trade-in program, and a great selection of simply priced Oldsmobiles, like the Cutlass Supreme, loaded for just $17,995. If you've waited to buy a new car, don't wait any longer. See your Tri-State Olds retailer before November 30th. It's your money.
Hey, look who's here!
Once upon a time, David and Sarah enjoyed a huge Thanksgiving feast. Then they relaxed with a newspaper. Sarah exclaimed, "Did you see this Lazarus After Thanksgiving sale ad? There's incredible Friday morning doorbuster specials 8 to 11 a.m. David happily replied, "Yes, and let's get there early and be one of the first 1,000 shoppers who get $10 shopping certificates." So off to Lazarus they went, shopped till they dropped, and lived happily ever after.
The fastest growing, most award-winning. Save up to $748 on selected models. It's back. It's better. It's a genuine Chevrolet. See it at a Tri-State Chevy Geo Team dealer.
The Castle season sure didn't start out like the Knights were headed to the Dome. Ryan, it was more like, they were headed somewhere else, right?
That's right, Mike. You're exactly right. After winning their opener against Boonville, the Knights dropped 2 games in a row. And in fact, they finally evened their record in overtime against North during the 4th week of the season. According to the Castle players, the 35-34 overtime win against North gave them added confidence and acted as a springboard for the rest of the season.
We went out and won the next 2 games. We beat North in the overtime, I know. That was down to the wire again. And then I think that, got us back on the winning track, and we just started thinking we can win again.
Well, the North game was a tough game, and we battled back and forth. It was close, and we ended up winning in overtime. In that game, after that, we thought we had our momentum back, and that got us on our winning streak, so that was a big game in our season, I think.
The Knights then went on to win their next 9 games in a row, starting with a come-from-behind 24-14 win over Wrights. They then knocked off Harrison 28-24, stopping the Warriors near the end of the ball game. 4 impressive wins followed. A 38-15 victory over Mater Dei, a 33-7 win over Memorial that saw the Knights pass for over 100 yards, a 38-7 win over New Albany in the first round of the sectional, and then the Knights knocked off Floyd Central 42-17. They won the sectional with a 23-10 win over Wright. On to the regional, where they knocked off Martinsville 35-28 after it was tied 28 at the half, leading up to the Carmel game last weekend.
Now let's take a look at the Mater Dei season. Dean, this was a team that Frank Will, I think, thought was going to be pretty good. But I think he was even surprised at how good they'd become.
Yeah, he was surprised for most of the season at how well they were playing.
But then he took a look at the 4-1 record and realized maybe he had a little better team than what he thought. The Cats showed early in the season they were able to put a lot of points on the board. A win at Sullivan left the Cats badly bruised, and Castle took full advantage of it, playing them mid-season. Mater Dei playing hurt and without quarterback Chris Kester. From that game on, the Big Red Machine has been on a roll. Wrights was their second shutout victim of the season, and it was on to the tourney. In the postseason, the Cats pounded Southridge 41-8. They had to come from behind to beat South Spencer and won the sectional final in the rain in Poseyville against North Posey. Mater Dei was still on the road as they chalked up a regional victory, jumping out to a 20-0 lead at Clarksville Providence and held on for a 2014 win, and then won their first ever semi-state last week when they beat Indianapolis Scenic.
Okay, joining me now in the locker room are two key members of both Mater Dei and Castle. From Mater Dei, this is Jim Schrader, a two-way standout who had the game-saving tackle against Cecina down at the end of the game Friday. And on my left, quarterback and linebacker Vince Leidy of Castle, who, of course, threw the two-point conversion to Jeremy Johnson. Guys, welcome. Vince, I'll start with you. It's been an emotional year, to say the least. Last week, you were diagnosed with mononucleosis, then cleared to play. Boy, it had to be tough. Did you go in physically and perhaps even mentally a little weaker than you wanted to?
Not really. I mean, physically and mentally, I think I've been like this for like the last 4 weeks, and it just came up that I had mine on a test, and the doctor said I couldn't play. But I kind of kept my hopes up, you know, I was optimistic, and we had more tests running so I could play. And by the time I was out, I was watching a lot of film, and I was also thinking of the game ahead of time. And I went to the game, this maybe practice-wise, I didn't have a physical practice under my belt, but because I get used to the place. But mentally, I was ready. I was sharp because of the film, and I knew what was going on. So I went to the game. I was all right.
What's it like playing for your father as coach?
Oh, it's not many people get the chance to do this play for your dad. It's great, and I'm taking everything I can do and just keeping it and keep on going and sharing everything I can do, you know, like with my dad. It's like great, and I'm keeping every memory I can, because it's like one lifetime thing for me, and basically nobody else can do this, and I'm going to make this as good as I can.
I know you do. Someone else who wants to make it just one more game is Jim Schrader. Jim, you've had a lot of big plays. How have you been able to rise to the occasion? Boy, you've just seem to be rising to the occasion game after game. Is this been one of the goals of yours this season?
Yeah, it's been a goal. I've realized as a senior I need to make some big plays, but I'm surrounded by everybody that makes big plays. We've got some people that just step up at the right time, and you know, everybody's done a heck of a job, and I'm just there, you know, maybe at the right time, but I just have to give it to the rest of the people too.
Now the city schools have an all-city team. Your coach, Frank Will, the dean, became the all-city coach. I asked you this before. What is it? Why is he such a good coach?
He motivates us real well. I mean, he's been there for so long. He's seen everything, and he really learns how to identify with the players, and that's something you really need as a coach. He's always there working hard. We see him working hard for us, watching films and doing everything we need. I think that makes us want to work harder.
One final thing, guys, before we let you get away. People ask me all the time, you know, what makes a good athlete? What makes a good team? You've been around good teams, good athletes. If people say, why is Castle so good this year, Vince? Why have they been able to get to the Dome and perhaps, hopefully, win it all?
Well, the seniors have taken up this, it's their responsibility this year to be the leaders, and we've all seniors have taken that responsibility, and we've started from the summer with weightlifting, and we've carried it on, and it's also, a lot of it's mental, and we've got the mental attitude right now. We've been focusing every week. I mean, we got down early in the season, we lost 2 in a row. We came back, we never got down mentally, and we came back, and we've been focusing, and we've been mentally sharp every game. And that's what's going to be the factor down the road for us on Saturday.
How about you, Jim?
I'll have to say about the same thing. Obviously, our seniors have done a great job this year. We decided after last season that we wanted to be competitive in the city and the SIC, and we worked hard in the weight room over the summer. We've got a really good chemistry. among our team. We work really well together, and we realize that we're out there at practice not just to get through it, but to really get ourselves to make us better.
Ready to go, guys?
Yeah.
Vincent Gym Schools gave them quite a send-off yesterday. When we return, we'll take a look at the pep assemblies from both Mater Dei and Castle.
7-Up wants to make you a believer. You can get $10 in free groceries and 7-Up for your family with Uncola Miracle Money. It's true. Just see the new Miracle on 34th Street movie, then stop by a 7-Up display for details on how Miracle Money can help make your season jolly. Why all the excitement? Because with Uncola Miracle Money, you can get $10 in free groceries and 7-Up. I knew it. Just see the new Miracle on 34th Street movie, then stop by a 7-Up display for Miracle Money details, and have a happy holiday.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy a new car, wait no longer. The time is right now at your local Oldsmobile retailers. It's a November to remember. The best time to get the new Oldsmobile you've been waiting for. During November, we'll have instant on-the-spot financing, an enhanced trade-in program, and a great selection of simply priced Oldsmobiles, like the Sierra, loaded for just $14,995. If you've waited to buy a new car, don't wait any longer. See your Tri-State Olds retailer before November 30th. It's your money.
Whether dressing up for work or a night on the town, every man wants to look great. And the key to looking great is fashionable, quality clothing at a reasonable price. That's what you get at Paul's Menswear. From casual slacks and shirts to dress shirts and ties, Paul's Menswear has the style and size for you. Paul's carries a great selection of the latest Duckhead and Levi's Dockers. Waist sizes start at 26 inches. They can even help the young man in your family look like $1 million for just a few dollars. Friendly service and convenient parking, too. Paul's Menswear, 2225 West Franklin in Evansville.
There's nothing quite like an old-fashioned Christmas. That's why you should make plans to visit the Old-Fashioned Christmas Arts and Crafts Show coming this weekend to the Robert E. Green Convention Center in downtown Evansville. See thousands of crafts displayed by exhibitors from Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee, and Texas. Admission is just $1. Children under 12 are free. Old-Fashioned Christmas Arts and Crafts Show, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Robert E. Green Convention Center this weekend.
Welcome back to the locker room, everybody. The Mater Dei Wildcats have been to the state in several sports, but never football. Dean, it must have been some kind of atmosphere yesterday at Mater Dei High School.
Yeah, it sure was. Last week, the school only had 13 minutes for the pep assembly. But with the state title on the line, well, they found a little bit more time this week.
It was nearly an hour long, and some moments that some of these players will remember a long time. And then there was one special moment that everyone will remember. Head coach Frank Will getting emotional at the podium.
It's my glasses.
It was an action-packed pep assembly. David Mosby, representing the mayor, showed up. And tomorrow will be Mater Dei Wildcat Day in Evansville. There were a couple of other skits. The seniors thought they were going to get kissed by cheerleaders, but got a smooch from mom instead. And the final skit had the tune of Another One Bites the Dust, ended with the Cats adding the Bremen Lions to their stack of victims that have stood in their way on the road to Indy.
Well, they're obviously ready at Mater Dei, but let's take a look now at the Castle Pep Assembly. Ryan Lemon joins me again. Ryan?
Mike, blue and gold fever has swept the Castle campus, and as you'll see, they are proud in paradise.
Where else would you find Castle coach John Leidy in a tux? Blue and gold painted faces, the Portage coach getting a pie in the face, and 3 beautiful Portage cheerleaders harassing the Castle players. Nowhere but at the Castle pep rally.
We're going to go up there, and we're going to win, and we're going to show those guys up north how South plays football, and what Castle football is all about.
And where else would you find the Castle players being kissed by the cheerleaders? And Johnny Clark getting kissed by a special guest.
John?
All right, this is Johnny Clark here, and Johnny, I think Channel 14 and the rest of Evansville wants to know what it's like to kiss your mom.
It's great, man. It's unbelievable. It's the best kiss I've ever had.
Today at Castle, they had a huge pep assembly sending the football players away. John, what'd you think of that?
Oh, man, this is great. This is the best kiss I've ever had. I know you had fun with it.
And so did everybody else, as the Castle Knights got a royal send-off in Paradise.
When we return, we're going to go to practice and see how the teams are preparing for the big game.
This weekend, Risley's Audio and Video is saying thanks for making us your name brand electronics choice. Take your music everywhere with a Panasonic CD Jam Box. Just $119. Get a free CD case. Never miss your favorite program with a Panasonic 4-head Hi-Fi stereo VCR. Only $297. Free Jurassic Park video. And capture every holiday moment with a Panasonic Concorder camcorder. With 10-to-1 power zoom. Just $588. Super prices are just our way of saying thanks for choosing Risley's Audio Video Car Stereo.
I've been in competition all my life. Regardless of football or business, you must outperform your competitors. That's why at Meineke, we use the best parts to repair your car. We give you the best service and the lowest price. That goes for Meineke and Arts Glass Service. And when you come to Meineke for brakes, muffler, and exhaust work, we'll give you a free oil change. That's a $20 value. We're here to win this game, and we'll do that by serving you better.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy a new car, wait no longer. The time is right now at your local Oldsmobile retailers. It's a November to remember. The best time to get the new Oldsmobile you've been. It's your money.
Whether dressing up for work or a night on the town, every man wants to look great. And the key to looking great is fashionable quality clothing at a reasonable price. That's what you get at Paul's Menswear. From casual slacks and shirts to dress shirts and ties, Paul's Menswear has the style and size for you. Paul's carries a great selection of the latest Duckhead and Levi's Dockers. Waist sizes start at 26 inches. They can even help the young man in your family look like $1 million for just a few dollars. Friendly service and convenient parking, too. Paul's Menswear, 2225 West Franklin in Evansville.
Mater Dei is about to live out a dream that head coach Frank Will has had for quite a long time.
That's right, Mike. Frank Will is in his 20th season as head coach. That's hard to believe. And he says he has waited a long time for this trip to the Dome. Coach Will says if you have good senior leadership, you're going to win. And, well, what if you get great senior leadership?
Yeah, I think that's what it takes to have a good team, is for one of your seniors to promote that big play when time comes. And just going down over the ball games week after week, you take Schrader or McDermott or Shaw, they just come through with a big play. And that's the senior's job, is to lead by example. And they did an outstanding job. So I'd say those three guys, they make the team stay together.
These Wildcats seniors seem to thrive on making the big play. Whether it's a Schrader fumble recovery, a big hit by McDermott, or a great catch by Shoy.
I think Coach Gale will give me a chance to do it if he wouldn't give me a chance. I just know if fourth down, big play, you just got to come up with the catch. I don't know, it's just something I don't even try to think about, just another play, just try to make it happen.
Ryan, the Knights coming in on quite a roll.
That's right, Mike. Being involved in athletics as long as you have, you know you have to get some breaks along the way, and the Knights certainly have. Even in the sectional, the three Evansville teams were in the other half of the sectional draw. And so far in the tourney, they have yet to run across a ranked team. But the Knights will take another state title any way they can get it.
We haven't seen the Castle shuffle since the 1982 state championship game. That year, Castle won the state, and they hope to do the same this time around. To do that, Castle will have to rely on their big size advantage. I'm talking about the Hogs.
Yeah, this is a very big and good offensive line, and a lot of them are playing defense. They're just well, what happens up front is what counts, and if we get the job done up front, then normally Castle will win.
So let's introduce you to the Hogs. From right to left, Ben Stewart at 262 pounds, Jeff Elmer at 330 pounds. The center is Doug Hurt at 249 pounds. And on the right side, Patrick Mays and Sean Hum, both at 225. All of the Hogs are seniors, and Leidy says they all know what's at stake.
We just got to handle the elements. That's it. I mean, it's a great place to play. It's new. It's indoors. It'll be something these players will never forget, a chance to play in RCA Dome. So, again, we just got to handle it.
When we come back, a look at what it's going to take for Castle to have a good night and Mater Dei to really roar in '94.
Hey, look who's here!
Johnny Bench for S&K.
When you make S&K your home for holiday shopping, you don't have to pay those inflated department store prices. Not when S&K has wool blend suits at 2 for under $200. And America's most famous name and raincoats, just $99.97. And this wool blend blazer is under $100 at S&K. So what should you do with all those department store ads? You'll think it's something.
2 area locations in Evansville and Eddyville. Call 1-800-644-SUIT.
Ask for a loan at some banks, and their first response is to give you the red light. Others might give you the yellow light. But at Permanent Federal, we give you the green light, because we've got money to go. Money to go means you get fast, no-hassle approval on home and home equity loans, home improvement loans, auto loans, and much more. So get a flexible loan to suit your lifestyle and your budget. Get the green light at Permanent Federal with money to go.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy a new car, wait no longer. The time is right now at your local Oldsmobile retailers. It's a November to remember. The best time to get the new Oldsmobile you've been waiting for. During November, we'll have instant on-the-spot financing, an enhanced trade-in program, and a great selection of simply priced Oldsmobiles, like the Sierra, loaded for just $14,995. If you've waited to buy a new car, don't wait any longer. See your Tri-State Olds retailer before November 30th. It's your money.
The nuts and bolts, shall we? Modern Day, what are they going to have to do to be successful against Bremen? Well, Frank Will sees Bremen as a very familiar foe, much like a team here in Evansville.
Well, I think that this team reminds me a little bit of North High School. They have a good quarterback who likes to run with the ball like Hupperson, and 2 good running backs, fullback and a tailback. They're put together pretty good, and you're going to have to hit them to get them down. So we're going to have to do a good job on them. So I'm hoping that we can do that. But another thing that concerns me is that we got to control ourselves when we get in that dome. There'll be a different experience. It'll be the outside will be gone, and it'll be a whole new experience for us.
As for Castle, the key to the game appears to be one thing: Castle's great size overcoming Portage's great speed.
Well, we have to be able to establish our running game inside, and you know, Tony Salpeter's got to have a big game. Vince, as a quarterback, thrower, and runner, has to have a big game. We have to control the ball. We got to keep the ball in our hands, and we have it. We got to score, pick up a lot of first downs, get a good field position, because we feel offensively they have a lot of weapons, and they're going to score some points. So again, we have to control the ball just about like we have in every game in '94, and if we can do that, we feel like we're going to be successful.
Well, guys, are we ready?
I think so. Ready.
Boy, we better be. And one thing's for sure, both the Wildcats and the Knights are ready. For now, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. As we leave you, here's one final tribute to 2 great teams who are just 1 win away from that impossible dream. A dream that hopefully will come true for Modern Day and Castle in the Dome.
Touchdown 94, the road to Indy, has been brought to you by your Tri-State Oldsmobile retailers.
Happy Thanksgiving from the Tri-State's news leader, WFIE TV 14.
Today's show means a lot to me and many of my guests. Throughout the hour, we're going to be doing something that all of us need to do much more often. And I'm going to kick it off with a surprise visit to a man I